Hi guys, shooting full of holes here. Decided to make a video about some of the new pellets that are out there for the 25 caliber and probably in other calibers. Well, I mean, probably they make these same pellets in other calibers, but I decided to test the 25 caliber. Now for me, one of the best pellets on the market is the Predator Polymag. It acts pretty well almost in every caliber. This is a 25 caliber. I love it because it does really well in penetration and expansion, but not only that, accuracy is exceptional with the Predator Polymag, at least in most of my guns. So now some of the new ones that are on the market, especially made by Skenco, some are for penetration and some for expansion. So one of them is the Black Max lead free. And it looks just like what it is on the picture. It's an alloy tip with a plastic skirt. So designed for penetration. Another one is the Ultra Mag metal tip. Basically, it's a pellet with a metal tip. What I have found is that some of these in the tin have lost their tip. Not lost their tip, it's in there loose. So watch out for that. So that's basically a lead pellet with a metal tip. But I don't know. I shot them in two different guns. I shot them in the Hatsan and the Marauder. Here's another one, which is the Ultra Shock hollow point. Now basically, I'll tell you right now, the Ultra Mag is the exact same pellet as the hollow point, just with a metal tip. Exact same design and everything. So I think they figured out we can kind of have like a 2-for-1 combo. We just put a metal tip in this one and we got two different kind of pellets. So anyway, so like I said, I tested all these pellets in the Hatsan 125 and the Marauder. Now, I only started at 10 yards. I didn't even want to go further than that because I'll show you why. So, the first test that I did was a metal sheet test. This is your basic metal sheet that they use for air conditioners or, furnaces, stuff like that. Not very thick. I couldn't tell you exactly how thick it is, but I'm sure somebody else can. But basic metal, right? Now, when you have a big piece of metal like this, if you shoot in the middle, it tends to absorb the lead pellet. So it's pretty good to, it's pretty good for letting you know how much penetration that particular pellet has. So I'm going to start with the Ultra Shock hollow points. That's these ones again. Hollow points hit right here. Just made a huge dent. That's about it. And I can show you the pellet too. Basically the pellet just flares out. So, and that's a typical pellet. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's designed to basically catch a surface area around it and expand. So, I said, okay, that's normal. Then I decided to try the Ultra Mag, which is the same pellet, but with a metal tip. It's that one. And that blasted straight through. And it did a really decent job. And I can show you the pellet too. You can see where, now obviously the tip, I found the tip and the pellet separately. But you can tell where that tip does its job in helping penetrate, and helping the rest of the pellet push through. So that did its job, in my opinion. Then the Black Max, which is this thing. Now I can show you that pellet. Now when I found them in the box, in my trap, obviously they were separated also. There is pretty much absolutely no damage to that alloy tip. It's just a hard-nosed alloy tip. And it definitely went straight through the metal. You can see right there. Nice clean hole. So definitely does what it's designed to do. And out of curiosity, I decided to try the Predator Polymags. Predator Polymags did really well too. I mean, they're designed to penetrate, and they did. So that concludes the metal sheet test. Now here we start with the accuracy test, because it can penetrate all at once, expand all at once, but if it can't hold any accuracy, that's pretty much useless. So let me start with the Ultra Shock again. There's the Ultra Shock. Not a bad group, I would say, but for 10 yards, yeah, I wouldn't use it. And the other thing that I'm not so sure about is it seems like they might be tumbling already at 10 yards. The Ultra Mag, which is the one, basically the Ultra Shock with a metal tip, that I can tell you right now, it definitely wasn't a flinch. That's the pellet. 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top. I don't know what's going on. Black Max, actually to some degree not so bad accuracy. Predator Polymags, obviously one of my favorites, and that's why. And to tell you the truth, this was all shot offhand, and I was doing this, you know, pretty rapidly. You know, I wasn't looking for one hole accuracy, you know, just trying to do a reasonable job at 10 yards. I mean, it's 10 yards, come on. One of the things I noticed though, that with the Skenco pellets, they are super loud for some reason in the 125, in the Hatsan. They sounded like a rimfire almost going off. The weights are there. I mean, they weigh 32 grains, 28 grains, 23 grains. So it's the right pellet weight for the rifle, but they just sound super loud. Put in the Predator Polymags, boom, nice and silent. And so what I'm thinking is that these pellets fit really loose in the chamber or in the breech, and which part probably helps their penetration, because they're just not enough friction in the barrel, so they just basically just shoot out at a higher velocity. So watch out with those. Now use the Marauder to shoot pretty much most of these pellets. I'll start with the Ultra Shock. Ultra Shock actually did okay, 10 yards, so that's very reasonable grouping. The Ultra Mag, also a reasonable grouping. Now I couldn't load the Black Max in the magazine. They just wouldn't fit, too long. So, well, that's useless to me, so couldn't try those. And to tell you the truth, I'm a little leery about using an alloy tip in my Marauder. That's the Predator Polymags. I love those. And like I said, that was offhand, 10 yards, you know. And the Marauder will do that every day, all day, with the Predator Polymags. So, very good accuracy. So in my opinion, what do I think about the Skenco pellets? I don't know. I honestly, I think I'm stuck with junk right now, because I can't justify using them in either of my rifles. The Predator Polymag took the cake and everything, accuracy and penetration. So, you know, I personally still think Predator Polymags still take the cake. They win. And you know what? My hat's off to Skenco for trying, but I think they need to come up with something, you know, a better design. I don't think that these now, you know, I tried them in 2 guns, and yeah, some of them performed okay in the Marauder. Maybe in your rifle they'll do better, but as for me, they just didn't satisfy me at all. Didn't. I mean, they penetrated, but without accuracy, completely useless. So anyway, that's my take on these pellets. Hope you enjoyed this video. have a great day. And as I always say, get a gun, an air rifle, go out in the woods, put up a sheet metal, shoot it full of holes,